Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at uploading a large number of rugs all at one time. This is using the CSV Uploader. It's usually used for when you're initially setting up and you want to transfer all your existing stock over to the new system, or if you have a large number of rugs, maybe perhaps rugs that you've purchased, and you want to upload them all at the same time. There is another mechanism for uploading other than the CSV document for rug purchases, and I'll show you that quickly before we get into this. In Showroom, we have bulk upload, and you can upload from an invoice. So what this does is allows you to create an invoice from a supplier and then upload all the items in that invoice, and it'll actually do a check to see what the total cost, the total landed cost of your products are, so that you can sort of reconcile your packing list with what you've received as well. And it also creates the items all at once. But let's get started with showing you the CSV upload. So there are a couple things we want to address before we start to do this, and that is in the settings, under portal settings. If we go to formatting and click on showroom configuration, you want to make sure that your legacy SKU retention is either checked or unchecked. What this does is that if you have pre-existing SKUs or stock numbers that you want to continue to use, then you would click legacy SKU retention. It means you're retaining your SKU that you were previously using. If you do not click this, then the system will assign a SKU number to that item when it's uploaded. You can still make reference to an old SKU number if this is unchecked, but it won't use that existing SKU number moving forward. So in this case, I'm wanting to keep my old stock numbers from rugs that I'm transferring over from a legacy system. So I want to keep this checked. We also want to make sure that the number of the padding of numbers is set to preference. Most cases, 5 will be plenty, and it's not a long number to remember for most stock numbers. Okay, the other item that you want to make sure is in place is the default unit of measurement. A lot of companies are going to operate in feet and inches, so in that case you would use imperial. In my case, for transferring over from a legacy system, a lot of computer programs will store feet and inches in the back end as a metric number. So in meters, just because it's derivatives of 100, so sometimes the data is actually saved in the back end as metric. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to metric for my CSV upload because my legacy information is in meters. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Okay, and then we go back to the owner list. And we see we have an option for CSV upload here. So go ahead and click that. And this pulls up a number of steps. Fairly simple. This just goes over what we had just talked about. Turning on or off legacy SKU. It says it's currently set to on, meaning I want to retain my legacy SKU. My units of measurement are currently set to metric. And please note that just because you're uploading it in metric doesn't mean you can't switch it back to imperial. So both data sets are saved in the back end. So even if you have to upload in metric, by switching back to imperial at some point, everything will just switch over to feet and inches. Pretty seamless. Now you want to go ahead and download the XLS documents. This is an Excel document, and that should download to your machine. go ahead and enable editing. You want to click on the first tab. So this is the format of the data that you can enter into the system. It will accept up to 1,000 records at a time. So what I've done is I've taken an export of my old database and I've organized it in a fashion that is that matches this format. So I'll show you that. So this is the information that I'm going to enter. You can see I have my legacy SKU. So that's from my old system. Product types, they're all listed as rugs. Set up as, these are all owned items. Rug type, when you click here and drop down, it'll give you options for choosing a rug type. If you don't find the rug type that you're trying to upload, it may be because you're too specific with your rug type and you may have to go more general, or it's possible that it's not listed, and in that case you can send us a note and we can have that added to the system. Country of origin, this is the title. You don't necessarily have the title just yet, just because sometimes it requires to go in and update it one by one. If you wanted to put the title in here now, that's fine. That becomes your searchable title in your system. And this is a simple description associated with your item. Then you have your cost. This is your landed cost for that item. And then you have your price or your replacement price. The reason why we say replacement price is that this item can also be used as a rental item, but we're not going to get into that today. So this is your price, and then you have your condition, which is a drop down of these options. The reason why we have to use these options here is because this is compliant with what we upload to Amazon. Condition notes. Condition notes are necessary or mandatory if it is something other than new. Then you have your width, your length, and your height, and your shipping weight. So in my case, because my old system operated in metric, I had to convert my meters to centimeters and then just copy them into these cells. My height, I'm just putting in as 1 centimeter for all rugs at this time, just because it's easy. If there's something that's thicker or much thinner, I can always make those adjustments on an item by item level. Now, please note that this template that I'm using here is a metric template. I'm just going to minimize this. If I go back into my system and I set my default unit of measurement to imperial, save that, and I go back into my rug list for the CSV uploader, it'll say that my current my units of measurement are currently set to imperial. And when I download the template, you'll see that this is a different template. All these fields here are going to be the same until you get to the measurement area. And you'll see that feet and inches are expressed here in 2 columns, because this is your width and feet, and then your width in inches, and your length in feet, and your length in inches, and then your height in inches, and your weight in pounds. Okay, so that's the difference if you were to upload using the imperial versus the metric template. Okay, now that I have my template filled out with the rugs that I want to upload, if I scroll down here, you can see that in this example, I have 219, but the first line is taken up by the header, so it's technically 218 items that I want to upload. So I'm going to save this and put it in an area that you're going to be easily be able to find, and you're going to want to make sure that this is in CSV format. Okay, so I'm just going to star this. That's not valid. Let's just do this. Just so it stands out. And it's asking me, are you sure you want to continue saving in that format? I say okay. Yes. Okay, so I can close this. Now I'm back at this screen here. I'm going to want to switch back to metric because I'm uploading a metric. So in this case, because I'm working in metric because of my legacy system, I'm going to go back to metric, save. Okay. Okay. Legacy SKU retention is on. Units of measure is set to metric. I've downloaded my template and filled it all out, and I've saved the template as a CSV document. Now I'm ready to upload. So I click here and I locate where that data was stored. Here's my file in CSV. Click on it, press open, and it'll say that it's found 218 records, which confirms with the CSV document or the Excel sheet that we actually filled out. So everything looks good. It says it has no issues with 0 records, or issues with records is 0. Total to be uploaded is 218. So we go ahead and process. It just takes a little time. It has to create items for all uploads, and just giving me a little report saying that everything looks good, everything's done, and we go back to our screen and we can see that all the data and all the information is uploaded in here with our legacy SKU as the active SKU. And then from here we can go into each individual item and update accordingly with photos and additional detail. Now please note that the process I just went through is for owned items. If you're trying to upload a number of items for a consignment, items, then you would go through the consignment CSV uploader, which is in a different video. So you can search on our knowledge base for consignment, and it should give you a number of videos that you can look through on that process. Thanks. Bye for now.